We're back with the League of the Genuine Conversations with me, Fred Muwema. We are 20 or 30 kilometers out of the city of Kampala at the headquarters of a leading paints manufacturer, not just in Uganda, probably in the world. Join me to welcome Mr. Santosh Gumte.
Yes.
Managing Director of Kansai Plascon. Most people call you Plascon, and then I see Kansai, and here I see Kansai Paint. Mm-hmm. Can you clarify? Is there a difference between the two, or
yes,
one?
Yes, there is. There is a big difference. Kansai Paint is the company, and Plascon is the brand of paint. So Kansai Paint has got lot of brands, and in Africa we are selling under Plascon.
So Plascon is a trading name.
It's a trading name.
So Plascon does not have its own paint. It sells Kansai Paint.
Not really. What happens is Kansai Paint. This company was incorporated in 1918 in Japan, and then Kansai Paint.
So your mother company is from Japan.
Is from Japan, Osaka, okay. And then as they grew, they started. Their aim is to become the #1 paint company in the world. The #1 coatings company in the world. So this one of their strategy was acquiring businesses across the world. So
paint businesses,
paint and coating businesses. So now they have spread across the world. They are now in the US, in Mexico, in Asia, Europe, in India, and here Plascon basically is a brand in South Africa. It's a brand of South Africa. And that was acquired by Kansai Paint. So now in South Africa they are dealing as Kansai Plascon. Now for their strategy for Africa was to promote the Plascon brand, whereas in India it is the Nerolac brand, for example. So it's Kansai Nerolac in India, whereas here it is Kansai Plascon. So we are promoting Kansai Plascon.
Okay, so but for most people on the Ugandan market, they know you as Plascon.
Yes, they know us as Plascon.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
If I refer to you as Plascon.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for, first of all, you have beautiful offices.
Thank you.
Many people think that beautiful offices are only in the city center, but we are deep here in Namavi Industrial Park, and I think these offices look better than most offices in the town.
Thank you very much. Of course.
So, Mr. Santosh, we have been talking about counterfeits for the last 6 or so weeks, counterfeits in the building construction sector. And we have been on site talking to the engineers, the architects, the masons, but we felt that we must close this by talking to a manufacturer of an important, but maybe ignored product that is used on site, and that's paint. So I'll start from here. There's a report by the Uganda National Bureau of Standards that was done a few years ago. And the report indicates that more than 54%, maybe 60% of products on the Ugandan market are counterfeit or fake or substandard. Where does Plascon Kansai Paint fall in this 54% number? Do you have an issue there?
Yeah, definitely. Counterfeit is a big issue for us, and because Plascon is such a popular brand, obviously it attracts counterfeiters. We feel that we lose around 12 billion in a year to counterfeiters.
$12 billion
Ugandan shillings. 12 billion Ugandan shillings every year to counterfeiters. And it's not just us, it's basically the government is losing a significant amount of taxes as well, because the counterfeiters, they do not pay any taxes. And even the consumer is losing in a big way, because he is buying a substandard product which can be harmful to them. We do not know what kind of chemicals the counterfeiters use, and that can really be very harmful. The way they produce this counterfeit paint, they do not have any systems of treatment of the waste or the effluent, so they would just throw them in the drains, and that in fact can really harm the community. If that finds its way into the groundwater, then it can really contaminate the water and affect the community. So it's a quite a big problem. It's a very significant problem, and it needs to be addressed by everybody, all the stakeholders. It's quite an important.
So
problem.
Plascon knows counterfeiting in the paints industry is a big problem.
Yes.
I would like to presume that you're doing something about it. What are you doing?
Well, the first thing that we have done is every batch that we make, there's a traceability. So we, in the market, whatever paint is there, every paint, every tin has a batch number, a unique identification number. So we can trace the paint was made when, which batch it was, to which dealer it was sold. All those traceability is what we keep. And we encourage all the end users to buy from our authorized dealers, because then we can basically give that assurance that the authorized dealers would have genuine Plascon products. We have a very strict protocols against the authorized dealers. We go and check their shops. We ensure that they are not stocking any counterfeit products.
You do audits?
We do audits. So basically we can actually assure the general public that if they buy from one of our registered authorized dealers, they will get genuine Plascon.
So this is one of the ways you're pushing back on counterfeits,
that is
but the problem is there.
Yes.
So
yeah, this is just one small part of what we do. But then I would like to show you one of our tins.
And maybe as you show us,
yes.
I would like to tie in with a statement here. One of the biggest drivers of counterfeits is the failure to differentiate by the consumer.
Yes.
Between the genuine and the fake products.
Correct.
So we would request that you actually do a demonstration just now to help your consumer identify your genuine product.
Okay.
It would be very helpful because most guys will not be able to know whether this is genuine or this is fake.
Yes, true.
And probably that's how the 1 billion of fakes actually slips in.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you can demonstrate how a genuine Plascon Kansai paint looks like for those who have been buying this product.
Can we start with that tin? Right.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
so first tell us, what do we have here?
Here we have WeatherGuard matte emulsion, which is one of our premium water-based paint.
WeatherGuard is for outside?
Exterior, yeah. It's an exterior paint, yeah. Now, what we noticed was, this tin we have very specifically developed, which has a very unique seal. Generally, what happens in Uganda is you have the seals on the lids. So, and the counterfeiters find a way to basically remove the lid without breaking the seal.
So where is the seal here?
So now
maybe the camera can move closer.
The seal is here on the body, not on the lid. So see, this is the seal, but this is now the body.
Okay.
The lid is just here.
Oh, so the seal is embedded within the cover.
Within the body, not on the lid. So what happens when you put the cover? It locks into the body.
Oh,
so that's
when you break the seal,
only then the lid will now come out.
The lid cannot be used again.
Exactly. The lid cannot be used again.
So somebody can't make this seal.
No. This for them to make this seal, they have to make the whole container because it is on the body, not on the lid. So it's the whole body that has to be made.
So I was wondering, because this is plastic.
Yes.
I thought this is metal.
No, this is plastic as well. And another feature is this is IML labeling. So this is not a sticker. It's in mold labeling, which.
Okay, let's show the camera.
Yeah.
Just face the camera and show. This labeling.
This is in mold labeling. So this is infused when they make the container.
So what you're saying is that this is not a sticker that
No, you cannot peel it off.
It's within.
It's within the container.
The body of the container.
Yes, it's within the body of the container.
Okay. What else? Identification.
This is a major at the moment, and then the next thing is this label, which basically gives the unique code that we assign to this product, the batch number, and the manufacturing and the expiry date.
I can see CP. What does CP mean?
This is our batch coding.
Okay.
And it says P290. This is very specific for this paint.
Manufacturing date. This was manufactured on the 1st of October.
Yes.
A few days ago.
Yes, few days ago. And the expiry is 30th August 2024.
Wow.
Each product will have a shelf life. You know, we deal in multiple products, and each product has a different shelf life.
What's the shelf life of paint?
Different paint products have different shelf lives. So, you know, some can last for a year, 2 years. For example, anti-mosquito, we say will last for 2 years. Whereas this one is lasting for a longer period. Because here the period is from October to 21 to 24. So now we are saying this is 3 year shelf life.
So I have some questions for you.
Yes.
While we are with this container, again, one of the the ways that counterfeit product sales are promoted is the reuse, the unauthorized reuse of containers like this. What is the disposal policy for Plascon for this container once the client has?
You see, unfortunately, in Uganda, you don't have a disposable plant in Uganda, like in South Africa. So what happens here is we try to prevent anybody from using this container second time, which is why what we did was we put a seal on the body. So now you cannot really put another lid on it because the seal is now broken.
So meaning as a customer,
yes,
once I take this home,
yes,
this is waste. This is
exactly.
I can't reuse it.
For paint. For paint. You know, some people use it for planting trees. You can flowers and all. You can do that, or you can just use it for drawing water. Yeah. But you can use it as a container, but not really for filling paint.
Yeah. So this paper, which has the batch number, that is just affixed on top from
yes,
the factory here.
Yes. Yes.
So is this container made here at the factory, or is
no? This is import. This we get from Kenya. This is made in Kenya, not in Uganda. So this is imported specifically because it is one of our premium range. So we want to ensure that, you know.
Weather guard.
Yeah. So we want to protect it from counterfeiters.
Okay. And the next one.
Now this one. You know, because this is water based, if you put it in a metal tin, it will rust.
This plastic is making noise.
This metal now.
Metal.
Yeah. Solvent you pack in metals.
Oil based. Solvent mean?
Oil based paint. Yeah.
The other is a water
based. Yeah. Because oil based, if you put it in plastic, it will eat the plastic.
Oil based paint.
Oil based paint, if you
should not be put in
plastic. And water based, if you put it in metal, it will rust. It can rust if the lacquering is not good. So ideally, you put water based in plastic, oil based you put it in metal.
Okay.
Now here what we have done is we have got this seal, this tamper proof label.
This is the seal. Okay.
Yeah, this is the tamper proof label. So if you try and pull this out, as it goes off, it leaves a mark.
But somebody can clean it with the.
Yes, there is another feature now.
Okay.
If you look at this tin, if you try opening this lid, it will damage the lid. It will not be the same way as it is. And it has also put a mark on the container. Okay, you can try and rub it. It's not so easy. It's not so easy, and it will take some bit of effort. But then it also damages the lid when you open it and the ring. So and if anybody tries to put it again, it will not sit the way it is sitting now.
So this is an oil-based
product.
Oil-based paint, and I can see that it has do not eat, drink, or smoke while painting. Can you explain that?
It can be. It is. If you see here, we have these signs.
It's flammable.
It's flammable. It's toxic. That's why we say do not consume it, because it is poisonous, and it can be an irritant as well.
No, but they even say do not eat while painting. So these painters who are painting and eating a piece of maize,
because you can have things on your fingers. You are painting, and you could always have some residue left, and it can go in your body.
You see, this container here, the good thing is it has warning information.
Yes.
That this is a toxic product, it's harmful, it's an irritant, and it's dangerous for the environment.
Yes.
So my next set of questions come from this. Let's start with the environment.
Yes.
There is an argument that is made that paints are a big source of indoor pollution, outdoor pollution, affecting of our water sources and so on. What is your answer to that? And how does a counterfeit version of a paint, a fake version of a paint, harm the environment more?
It's a very, very good question. You know, as you have read through the label, it is toxic. So it is harmful. And when you dispose these containers, you have to dispose it in a very responsible manner.
I should not eat near the paint, you said.
When you are painting.
I wanted to.
You can drink, yeah. The
when
lid
it's closed, it's safe.
The lid is closed,
Okay,
you are safe.
So I can drink, okay.
What we have, what we do is any paint that is spoiled or needs to be disposed of. There are companies which are licensed by NEMA, and we use only those companies. They come, they pick the paint, spoiled paint from us, and they incinerate it.
There is another warning on this
Yes.
container. Why I'm taking you through this is because I know that you are a premium paint manufacturer, and therefore you observe standards. Okay, and I know for a fact that if somebody was faking paint, they wouldn't put these precautions.
Definitely.
So the idea here is to tell your consumers to have a lookout for these safety precautions that top brands like you are giving. It's not just a question of buying the paint and you paint. You actually should look at the
Yes.
container. We have had cases of some buildings catching fire because of, I don't know, because of many factors.
Yes.
Electrical.
Yeah.
To what extent can bad paint or paint be a cause of fire?
You know, any flammable paint, you know, if you have applied it, if it is fresh, definitely it is flammable. But as I said, you know, solvent goes off over a period of time. So it starts becoming less flammable over a period of time. But also there is a specific fire retardant paint that we make. So which
fire retardant
paint that we make, which actually will not allow the fire. It retards the fire.
What is the name of that paint?
It's called fire retardant paint, but we make it very specifically on order.
It's an industrial paint or a paint I can paint in my
It's more of an industrial paint. It's an expensive range because in a fire retardant paint it has its own cost, and it is used in very specific industries.
Okay, you are still showing us how to identify.
Yes, these are the things that we do at the moment internally, but we also have some measures that we do externally.
Okay.
For example, we do around 80 painters training sessions annually in Uganda, and each training session will have around 200 painters across Uganda. So, you know, we are talking about around 14 to 16,000 painters that we train annually. So in every session, we actually talk about the product, how to differentiate between a counterfeit and a genuine product, because many of the end users, you know, they rely on the painters to go in the market and buy paint. So the painters are quite an important aspect of this industry. And if we educate the painters then, you know, can actually also convince the end user to buy the right product. So that's one of the things that we do.
To ensure that your customers get access
to genuine paint.
To your genuine product. I would like to finish this phase of identification.
Yes.
We have another one here.
This is now vinyl silk. Again, it's the seal here is on the body. It's the same container like the weather guard that I showed you. So it again has a seal on the body, not on the lid. So the same security feature but this paint is for interiors. Yeah, interiors, not external. And then again we have this is now beige. It has its own unique number, its own expiry dates, a batch number. So if there is a complaint on this and the customer returns this to us, for every batch we make, we have a retained sample which we keep with us. So if somebody brings this to us and says there is a problem with this paint, we go look at the retained sample and test in the lab whether the paint in this container is actually the one we filled or it's now reused or some other paint has come in.
One of the biggest drivers again of counterfeits is poverty.
Yes.
So somebody watching now will say, okay, Fred and Santosh are talking about some paint, but that is beyond me. I cannot buy this paint. So the question for you is, what's the price for this paint, and is it affordable?
You see, the first
for
thing,
the common man.
Yeah, let us first not talk about price, because paint is not, you never measure the paint with how much one tin is costing. So you could have two tins, one is costing more expensive, but you look at the coverage on the wall per tin. So if this paint, let us say, is covering around 10 to 12 square meter, a counterfeit will cover around 6. So even if there is a price difference, when you are actually putting it on the wall, you will buy more containers there rather than the genuine paint. So overall cost goes down. Second thing, this is long term. The life when you put this on the wall is, you are talking 4 to 5 years, whereas a counterfeit is going to last
Plascon paint is 4 to 5 years.
Yes.
So I do one paint job and I paint after 5 years, 4 years.
Yes.
Is there any cleaning in the meanwhile?
Yeah, again, it depends on where you are. If you are in a high dusty environment, then you can just clean it.
So your paints are cleanable?
Yes, they are cleanable, definitely.
Okay, so the question is your paint out of reach for the common man?
Not really. Otherwise we wouldn't be the #1 paint company in Uganda. We have around 65% market share, and which is, I think, phenomenal. Even in many other economies, paint companies do not have that kind of market share. So it's basically because of the trust that the people have in our paint. We have been able to pass on the message that the quality in the long term is actually cheaper than you try.
So according to you, price should not be a factor in driving counterfeits, really?
It shouldn't, because counterfeit is cheaper in the short term, but in the long term it is more expensive. Not only to the end user, it is also harmful for the environment. It is also the government is losing revenue. There are so many negative factors. Also with counterfeiters, here we have got all the checks in place. We dispose of the paint, we dispose of the water that is discharged in the manufacturing process in a very responsible way. We have a water treatment plant. We test the water. We ensure that the water is very clean before it is discharged. There are the ministry comes and checks the water for the pollutants or if anything is there. So we have all those things in place. For a counterfeiter, they will just make something and then throw the residue in the drain, and it can then go in the groundwater and it can contaminate the water. So that's again a very big environmental issue
that you are handling.
Yes.
So you are a responsible, they call them environmentally sustainable businesses.
Yes.
You're one of those
yes,
companies.
Definitely.
I've also noticed in your product range, you address one of the key health concerns in this part of the world. Malaria kills more than, 1 million children and adults every year.
Yes.
During this time that we've spoken, many kids have died of malaria. And you have come up with an intervention of a anti-mosquito paint.
Yes.
You call it that?
Yes.
Can you speak to what informed this product?
The anti-mosquito paint is basically developed. What it does is, if a mosquito comes in contact with the paint, and that's quite an important thing, because in interiors you have got curtains, you have got pictures. A mosquito sitting on a picture or a curtain is not really going to die. But if the mosquito comes in contact with the paint, then it hits its nervous system, and in around half an hour or something, you will find the mosquito is now dying. So over a period of time, you see the extent of mosquitoes reducing in the house. But we don't say that it will 100% solve your mosquito problem, because we cannot control where the mosquito is going to sit. It has to be in contact with our paint for it to die.
So your paint attracts the mosquito, or repels it?
It doesn't attract or repel. What it basically does is, if a mosquito sits on the paint surface, it gets affected. its body absorbs.
Not necessarily that there is something that attracts it there. So
No,
if
no,
it
no.
refuses to sit on your paint, the paint won't work.
Yes, if it refuses, it's important that the mosquito has to come in contact with the paint. That's quite important. That is why we say that you also need to use all other things as
Mosquito
well.
nets and so on.
Yes.
So maybe this mosquito repellent, anti-mosquito paint should be painted on the outside, not in the inside. You don't need to wait for the mosquito in the bedroom.
You know, I have used it in my house in the balconies, and I have seen a reduction in the mosquitoes, and I also use it in my house. It's very safe. I have kids. It's very safe for kids. So it is approved by the NDA. And
it's a health product.
It's a health product as well. And you know, I am quite happy with the result. And you know, some of the friends with whom I have talked, they are also quite happy. Many hospitals are using this anti-mosquito paint. So I think it does work, but again, the most important aspect, and there are some people who will say that it doesn't work, it's mainly because we are not even claiming that it will 100% remove mosquitoes. What we are saying is if a mosquito comes in contact with the paint, it will die.
So are you considering developing some other maybe anti-cockroach,
you know,
there are a lot of
yes,
things
definitely.
which disturb people in the house.
We have
even anti-rodent, maybe for the rats. Some paint the rats
yes.
will see and run away.
We have significant research facilities in Japan and in India, and we do not have that kind of facility in Uganda. So these big facilities, you know, their whole job is only to find solutions for different problems. And there is also some paint that has been developed which can reduce the temperature in the house.
In the room.
In the room, and I'm sure you know that was some years back, and people are aware about it. So they are the ones who have the responsibility of developing, coming up with solutions. So if there is anything specific that the market requires, we would definitely send a request, and then we see.
And then you'll produce. Why should somebody listening to you think that counterfeiting in the painting sector is a serious issue? Well, can you make a pitch to the public? Why is this so important to stop fakes in painting?
First, it affects the end user because the quality that they paid for, they will never get. So a paint which could last 5 years, for them it would last for 6 months. So actually it's much more expensive for them that they have to repaint, keep on repainting to maintain a good decor. The second thing is the counterfeiters, the way they make the paint, they do not follow any protocols because there is no control on the production process. There is no control on the ingredients which are being used to manufacture the paint. So not only the people who are making it are exposing themselves to serious health hazards, but also the way they dispose the paint. That also very significantly affects the community in which they are operating this facility, which could be quite harmful. Whereas, you know, when we make paint, it goes under very strict quality controls. We are ISO certified. We have the environmental standard, we have the quality standard, we have the health and safety standard, and our products are also UNBS certified. So that's a serious health risk for them as well.
So anybody out there who is staying in a neighborhood
yes.
where somebody makes paint or mixes some concoctions in the backyard or whatever, this is not just a health risk to the person making the paint, but even the community, because
exactly.
the fumes, the solvents would,
yes.
you know, the fumes will go into the neighborhood, and you have small children there.
Exactly, yeah.
Coughing, respiratory issues,
yes.
allergies,
yes.
you know,
yes.
all those things, nausea and so on. Okay, now you've been talking about paint.
Yes.
But Mr. Santosh, you know that we don't use our hands to paint.
Yes.
We use sundries like brushes
yes.
and so on. So what are you doing for your consumers to ensure that they don't not only get the right paint, but they get the right accessories to use your products?
You know, we also sell accessories, though that's not our main business. But if a consumer wants to buy rollers, brushes, or sandpaper, we do keep them in stock.
So you have sandpaper, rollers, brushes.
Yeah. different sizes.
Plascon Kansai products, or you have a supplier?
We import it.
Because we spoke to some builders.
Yes.
And they were saying that there were fakes in every sector. You get a paintbrush, after
true.
3-4 brushes, and it's gone.
True.
So I think you care that.
Yeah, definitely. So we get quality brushes from quality suppliers. So we import them and we brand them. So you will have a Plascon logo on that to say that this is quality, because Plascon is associated with quality. So any product we sell, we want to ensure that it is of a very good quality. So even the brushes, if you see a Plascon logo on that, they would be of very good quality.
So far, Santosh, you have spoken about your quality paints used in housing.
Yes.
So for those who don't need to paint a house, they might as well stop listening to you if somebody wants to have a paint job for their car, for example. Do you sell those kind of paints that are used on cars?
Yes, we have a premium range in automotive paints.
Are they the same like for the house? The car paints?
The car paints, we have a premium range called Octoral, which is imported.
Octoral.
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 O-C-T-O-R-A-L, Octoral, which is an imported product, and we have various mixing banks in all over Uganda. And then we also have our mid-tier range, which we make ourselves. So we have 2 offerings in the automotive segment, and quite a few of our of the garages use our paint. But in Uganda, the automotive sector is quite small. If you compare it in East Africa, if you compare it with Kenya, because Kenya has got more bodybuilding shops and production lines.
They do a lot of fabrication.
Yes. Whereas here it is more touch-ups. So the volume is significantly lower for automotive paints. But we have the offering. All our cars, we paint it with our products. Many of the cars in Uganda are painted by our products.
So you have paints for every occasion.
Yes.
Every activity.
We even have for road marking. We have road marking paint for the roads. We have the thermoplastic as well. And many of the Uganda roads, you will see the thermoplastic supplied by us, actually. The upcountry roads, they use our thermoplastic.
There was a report, and this is important to the subject of counterfeits, because we are also investigating ethical and ethical production. So if you're doing anything that is unethical in your production, there was a report a few months ago which said that Lake Victoria was dying, and that Lake Victoria was dying because of industrial effluent that is released into the lake. I see you are here in an industrial park, but it's not very, very far from the lake or some water bodies. Can you specifically address, with reference to industrial waste management, this is extremely important. Can you specifically address what Kansai Plascon is doing to ensure that it does not join the assembly of industrial outfits that are dumping, into the lake?
So what we are doing is basically we are cleaning the water and separating the sludge out of it. And the sludge is then collected separately in drums, and then that gets disposed of by licensed. To
where? It might be ending up in the lake, Santosh.
No. This paint goes to, there is an incinerator facility in the defense. I don't exactly know the location. And these people are licensed by NEMA to collect it. We don't just give it to anybody. So these people collect it, go to the incinerator, and they burn it there. And
You're sure they burn it?
We have our people also going.
Who witness? You have a video, Santosh,
yes.
of the sludge
We
being
witness, yes. There are very strict standards that are adhered to ensure that we do not damage the environment. And there is a significant cost that we incur in implementing those standards as well. Because everything that we dispose, there's a cost to it. It's not that we are just throwing it somewhere. We actually incur cost to dispose it. So we are, as opposed to the counterfeiters, who just dispose it and really damage the environment significantly. So we are a responsible company.
You're responsible. You just said you're very grateful to the consumers.
Yes.
I know you are big boys playing an industry valued at maybe $100 million a year. You own more than 60% of the market. So you are a top league player, really. But one of the concerns of the consumer with this counterfeit issue is that every time you advertise a genuine product, you are also advertising the fake version of it, because the products look the same, the branding looks the same, most likely they are sold in the same place, the price is similar. So what do you say to the current promotion and advertisement of products that appears just to be doing a communication function and not helping to identify the fake or the genuine? Should it change?
There are two aspects to it. The first thing, I would slightly disagree that we are not doing anything, because as I said earlier, we do a lot of training sessions where we highlight the counterfeit and the genuine products and how to distinguish between them.
But that was with the painters.
Yeah, and painters are a major source of, and if you want to paint, you would go to a painter, mostly. So we really cover quite a bit of ground there.
Okay,
I definitely agree, but I definitely agree, it's a continuous improvement thing. We are not saying that's it, we have done, now fantastic, we can sit back and relax. There is a lot of things which needs to be done.
Work in progress.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. Now even, we are talking about these seals, but we have to again come up with something more innovative in the future. So we have to use technology.
Because the counterfeiter is not sleeping.
Exactly. So we have to use the technology. We have to talk to different stakeholders. Like, we were trying to get a sticker which would have a QR code and you could scan it.
Yes.
One of the biggest problem we had was that sticker, you could peel it off. So somebody could peel it off from...
You need it embedded.
Embedded. Or we need it that you cannot peel it, it should tear off immediately. The moment it peels off, it can get stuck on another tin. And then that tin, even if it is a fake, will now become a genuine product. So that's a big risk with this kind of stickers. So, we are still thinking on how to improve. I agree with you that we also need to do a bit of advertising to get this message across to the end user.
Or change the way you advertise, or improve.
Improve. We wouldn't be so successful if our advertising was not up to the mark. So I do think that we are doing a good job. Our brand manager is doing a good job. But definitely, we should keep on improving on the way we advertise and the way we get this message across that Plascon, what is the difference between a genuine Plascon product and a counterfeit? It's quite important to educate the end user.
Anti-counterfeit message.
Yes.
In your advertising. And I know you've said you have engagements with painters, you teach them this and that. Right now, this is an engagement and it's public.
Yes.
There are no painters in this room. All you have is an audience.
Yes.
So you teach them something about painting. You have a chance, Mr.
Actually, we have now demonstrated, in fact, thanks to you, on how you can distinguish between a counterfeit and a genuine, because those seals and the way it is embedded, that tin cannot be again used because it would damage the ring.
This is the first time any consumer of paint product, maybe in the world, is getting to learn this, correct?
Yes,
Has this been demonstrated anywhere else?
In our workshops, but not really.
Not in a large spectrum.
Not in a large spectrum where people are looking at it online and understanding it. Definitely that has not been done.
Plascon,
so thanks to you.
So consumers of Plascon products are lucky that you're a responsible brand that not only cares about the sales and the money, but you're also caring about their safety.
Yes.
And this is what the League of the Genuine is interested in, to promote genuineness in all aspects in the products that we consume, but even in the way the product is sold. We need to end. I know paint comes in different colors, okay? And I think a paint can deliver a message.
Yes.
To the place where you are going. For example, hospitals have certain colors.
Yes.
I don't know why some like green. Those health centers, it's painted green. Is green associated with gloom?
No. Green is basically, it has a calming effect. That is, that's a general perception. It may not calm everybody, but a light green, more like a pista green kind of color, would actually have a more calming effect when you enter that room. And also, it doesn't make the room go smaller. Because some colors, if dark colors,
what
would
colors
actually
make the room smaller?
If you say black, for example, or any dark color, if you have these walls now, if you paint them very dark, this room would look a bit smaller. And a lighter color would make it, more brighter, less gloomy, and you would actually feel very good entering that room.
So this is important, Santosh, because some of your consumers might use the wrong colors and then blame your product that Plascon paint maybe.
Yes.
So what are the colors recommended for bedroom, colors recommended if they're there?
Yes.
Recommended for the dining area, maybe for appetite, recommended for the balcony. Can you give a guide on that?
We come up with the color schemes. Every year we have a different theme.
If somebody bought a paint and they had issues with the paint, you have a product recall policy?
Yes.
Somebody will take back the paint?
We will. And we have, and that is why people have so much confidence. Anything sold anywhere in Uganda, you have a problem, you return it, and we will replace.
Wow.
And we do that.
That is very important, because a counterfeit purchase, usually, if it goes bad, it's a loss, complete loss to the customer. So if you are saying we're dealing with a genuine product, and most companies have goods once sold, they're not returnable.
No. For us,
you have that policy.
All goods, if there is a problem with the goods, we will reimburse free of charge.
Okay, so here is a chart.
Yes.
Tell us the good colors to make your customers happy. Which colors to avoid and which colors to make them happy? Can you show us here?
Yeah. Now you see all the colors. I like all the colors actually, but my personal choice is more on colors which are going in this range. I like lighter shades because that's a personal choice now. This is my favorite color.
Like my shirt.
Like your shirt.
You like my shirt.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So anything going on the lavender or the purple is what I like more. So again, it's a personal choice, but you have got a big variety. But again, here, this is still a very small variety. If you look
Mr.
at
Santosh,
this,
you also like black.
I do.
You're wearing.
Yes, yes. Okay. But if you look at this, for example, just to give you an idea, the different shades. So
So what is the best here? What's the best color? Green.
This is basically to tell you what if you want.
No, this is green. What's this color?
This is now Bay Bridge. This is Sea Garden. This is Mermaid Jewel. We have each.
But the colors we learned in school didn't have these colors. Where did you get this from?
Because if you say green,
we had green, red.
Right. Now, if you just say green, green has got so many varieties. If you just look at green now here, okay. So I cannot call all these colors green. All these are green, for example. But how do you then differentiate in the different shades of green? Because each of them is going to make your house a bit unique.
So I see this is contour green.
This is contour green. So what people do is if they want it to be a light dark combination, they would select this for 3 walls maybe and one dark one for 1 wall. So it gives a very unique thing to the room. Rather than just painting one color across the whole room, you could actually now select shades like this which go along side by side.
This is important because one of the ways of fighting counterfeits is deepening the consumer's product knowledge. I do not think that all Ugandans are paint literate, that they know all these things. So I think what you are doing just now is to help demystify and help the consumer to understand that actually you can have varieties and you can have different perspectives on the same paint base.
Yes.
So this is quite useful, and we think it's useful also to push back against the fakes.
Yes,
because once somebody has a good education like this on the product that he's looking for, first of all, they'll know what they're looking for. You cannot easily mislead them with a fake version. And then most importantly, they'll be able to meet their need or desire. And that brings consumer satisfaction. Consumer experience is good. And
service is a very important aspect of the paint business. And the color choices, the the protective coating, the water resistance, the durability of the paint, the washability of the paint, all these are very important factors. And I feel the consumers are starting to get aware of all these things.
My only worry, Santosh, is
yes.
that the counterfeiters maybe are also watching and they're going to come up with a chart.
Yes.
Like is it possible for them to do a chart like this? They have
anything is possible. So I am sure that some of the printers could be able to try and do that. Yeah. But that's why it's very important for us to keep on educating the end users and keep on passing on the message and trying to ensure that they buy the correct product and not a counterfeit.
Why Plascon paint? Why should somebody?
It's value for money. The best quality paint, long lasting, and it is value for money. It is cheaper actually in the long term. So I think that is basically our core quality.
And your message to them about counterfeits?
Please do not buy counterfeit products. It impacts genuine businesses. It impacts the government. It impacts the community, the society. The harmful effects of counterfeit products are too many. The only person who benefits, and that too in the short term, is the person who is making counterfeit. But the general population loses out. So I would really advocate that please do not go for cheap counterfeit
products. Whether it's paint or any other product?
Paint or any other product, because anything which is counterfeit is substandard, and it can be harmful. So it's quite important.
So Mr. Santosh, looks like you want to take over to host this show because you're speaking no, very well, very well. But we have to stop.
Yes.
For today, I'm the host. We have to stop here. That has been Mr. Santosh Gumte, the Managing Director of Plascon Kansai Paints. We are right here at their head office in Namamve. Beautiful offices, beautiful setting. You've heard him speak about the environmentally friendly production systems they have. You've heard him speak about what they do to engage with you, the consumer, even you, the painter. If you missed out on the last session they had training on painting, please be sure to join them. We are pleased to close this segment on counterfeits in the building and construction sector. It has been a long journey, several weeks that we've had. We have gotten a lot of responses and feedback. We appreciate them. We are unable to get the last episode we had, Santosh. We had a local builder, and he said so many things on what goes wrong at the site, and some people were pushing that we should have somebody from the university or a professor to speak, because the young man was speaking and saying that maybe some of the engineers don't know what they're doing. But anyway, the good thing is that on the show we had representatives from the regulatory board, qualified engineers, we had qualified architects speaking to this. So I think we had a balanced discussion. Would like to sign off from here in Namave by asking you to remain ethical and always buy and sell genuine products.